Well, the complete emphasis has been securing our coasts, and this has become even more acute after the Mumbai terror attacks. As you are aware that the complete maritime security architecture, there has been a requirement to revamp it. Now, which means that you have to start looking at from the extreme ends of your exclusive economic zone and what kind of threats are emanating. So this requires a comprehensive picture to be built up in terms of our surveillance capability. So it's both capacity, capability, and your intention to keep the high seas free of all these asymmetric threats as well as conventional threats. So the challenges are acute in my opinion, and India is gearing up in a very big way to see that we are in a position to be prepared for the current century threats. There's a comprehensive perspective plan that's always drawn up by the planners. These are those 5-year roll-on plans. So presently we are in the 11th to 13th 5-year plan. So when you have this kind of a plan, obviously it's all based on the requirement to safeguard your interests. And these interests in our context extend up to 2 million square kilometers of exclusive economic zone. In addition, we also have an international obligation to provide coverage in the search and rescue region, which extends up to 4 million square kilometers. So that's a big challenge. So when you have these compulsions, you have these obligations, you have these responsibilities, the nation has no choice but to invest in those kind of modern resources which are so essential for us to see that we are not taken by surprise. It's a complete comprehensive strategy that India is working on to secure its coast, not just the coast but also the seas surrounding it. And this comes about by integration of our services, upgrading of technology, adding to your force levels, restructuring the entire intelligence information collection, collation, analysis structures, and ensuring that there is some kind of a single point control so that there is no one-upmanship from the sister services. So this is a complete revamping of the national security architecture that we are going through. And whether it is asymmetric threats or whether these are conventional threats, the nation has to be prepared to prevent its innocent citizens being attacked by various people who are being sponsored either because of ideological reasons or for any other reason. It's important that we reshape the way we look at threat dimensions, and I think we are doing a good job. I think we are already invested in UAVs, the unmanned aerial vehicles, and so that the next technology vehicles for UAVs, which will be operated from ships as well as ashore, they'll all start coming in. Then there's a big requirement for network-centric operations. Now this is something that will drive the way nations and navies are in a position to respond to emanating threats without wasting any time, which demands real-time intelligence to be shared. So obviously a lot of money will have to go into satellites, it will have to go into the veterans, which are the ships, which are the boats, which are the commando units, which are the special teams. So all this would need to be networked, and there has to be a seamless connection and communication between these units. So the entire architecture will be so designed that the command control systems would complement the technology that's available and vice versa. So we are investing into UAVs, we are looking at network-centric operations, we are looking at various different kinds of technology like the P-8I Boeings, which we are going to get from America simultaneously. So that will give us a level of technology. We already are going to operate the carrier forces with advanced aircraft such as the MiG-29s and our own indigenous aircraft. So all this will be components of a comprehensive system that we are looking at, which will provide us the level of technology as well as a certain amount of confidence in these systems. When I say confidence, it's a confidence in the ability to use these systems and to ensure that they don't let you down and you don't let them down. So one thing to be secure within your boundaries, but another thing is to exchange useful data with your partners. And and in the modern day context of the threat dimensions, no nation can be free of these threats. And therefore the layers of information exchange that are there are something that we cannot escape from. So we must have organizational setups to see that such information is exchanged. For example, we are already sharing information with RECAP, which is located in Singapore. We are already sharing with many other partners here on anti-piracy missions. We are also sharing information with the data fusion centers, which are becoming a standard fit today. Now the data fusion centers, because there is enormous amount of information and you don't want information overload at any stage. So the complex algorithms which are there are going to sort out this and ensure that only the required information is provided, which means that the more the information you have does not necessarily mean that it's difficult. It only means that you have to have methods to see that what is required out of this is gleaned, taken out and shared with all your partners. Only then can we promote the concept of freedom of the seas, which in Latin is mare liberum. Personally speaking, I must say that I've been part of this initiative for the last 4 years, and therefore it's close to my heart. And there's something which I like about it is the way it's organized, the way that it's conceived, and the way it's executed. All these are done in such professional fashion. And I see that it's not just the people from the military who attend; it's the industry. So there is an interface that's provided between the industry, the user, and the academia. So there are many people who from think tanks. Even now I am in a think tank. We come here. Now, when you exchange this information, what it tells you is what are the areas in which you have to study. For a military planner, he knows what is the technology that's available, what is it that he can buy, what is it that he can demand from the technology solution provider. So for the technology solution provider, he understands the user requirements. So I think in all these counts, IKPC has done exceedingly well. I must compliment you all for what you've done.